Hello, you're watching DD India. Hello, you're watching DD India and I'm Preeti presenting Express News, where we show you 100 big news of the day. Let's get started with the national updates first. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the 10th edition of the Yoga Day celebrations in Srinagar, the capital of the Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, on Friday. He performed yoga at Sher-e-Kashmir International Conference Centre. More than 4,000 people performed yoga along with Prime Minister Modi on the banks of Srinagar's Dal Lake in India's Jammu and Kashmir on Friday. Prime Minister said on the occasion that the world is looking at yoga as an agent of global good. He said that yoga is not just an art but is also science. Prime Minister said that 101-year-old Charlotte Chopin, who was awarded the Padma Shri, India's fourth highest civilian award, dedicated her entire life to making yoga popular. Prime Minister greeted the participants at Sher-e-Kashmir International Conference Centre in Srinagar and obliged for selfies with yoga enthusiasts. President of India, Draupadi Murmu, performed yoga at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. She underscored the national importance of yoga as part of India's cultural heritage and its relevance in contemporary life. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, along with other diplomats, participated in yoga celebrations on the occasion of International Yoga Day 2024 on Friday. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh participated in a Yoga Day event along with army personnel at Strike Corps 1 in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami participated in a Yoga Day event on the sacred land of Adi Kailash in North Indian state's Pithoragarh district today. International Yoga Day was also celebrated in northeastern state of Mizoram. Governor of the state, Hari Babu, took part in the event. Indo-Tibetan border police personnel performed yoga at an altitude of more than 15,000 feet in Ladakh. The Indian Coast Guard celebrated International Day of Yoga in New Delhi with great enthusiasm. Director General Rakesh Pal participated in the event alongside 1,000 Indian Coast Guard personnel. India's Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal held a presser today in New Delhi. Speaking on the death of Hajj pilgrims from India, he said that 98 Indians have died due to natural causes. On the U.S. congressional delegation meeting with Dalai Lama at his residence in India's Dharamshala, MEA spokesperson said that Dalai Lama is accorded due courtesies and freedom to conduct his religious and spiritual activities. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina arrived for a two-day state visit to India on Friday at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Bangladesh Prime Minister will hold bilateral consultations with her Indian counterpart. During the visit, she will also call on President of India Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. India's Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman, chaired the fourth pre-budget consultation with representatives from farmer associations and agriculture economists in New Delhi on Friday. India's top court once again refused to stay the process of nationwide medical entrance exam NEET UG 2024 counselling and also issued a notice to the National Testing Agency. In the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, death toll due to consumption of illicit liquor has reached 47. 3 accused were sent to 15 days of judicial custody. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, a joint security review meeting was held at Chandrakot and Udhampur to coordinate and review security for the upcoming Amarnath Yatra. The Indian benchmark equity indices closed the trading session on a negative note on Friday. The BSE Sensex dipped 411 points to finish the day's trading at 77,067. Nifty closed 111 points lower at 23,455 on Friday. The Indian rupee rose 7 paise to close at 83.54 as against the US dollar. Gold future maturing on 5th of August stood at 72,598 rupees per 10 grams on the Multi Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on 5th of July stood at 90,945 rupees per kg on the exchange. Crude oil futures saw minimal movement on Friday. Brent futures decreased by 15 cents to $85.56 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures fell by 14 cents to $81.15 per barrel. Asian shares ended the week with a whimper. Euro Stoxx 50 and FTSE futures remained largely unchanged, whereas S&P 500 futures increased by 0.1% and Nasdaq futures climbed by 2.2%. The Swiss National Bank reduced interest rates for the second time to 1.25%, a 25 basis points drop on Thursday, while the Bank of England indicated potential rate cuts in August after maintaining current rates. Core inflation in Japan rose in May due to energy taxes, but an index excluding fuel effects declined for the 9th consecutive month, complicating the central bank's timeline for interest rate hikes. Nvidia's shares dropped by nearly 3.4% on Thursday, allowing Microsoft to regain its position as the world's most valuable company. Nvidia, Microsoft and Apple are in close competition for this title. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak expressed his extreme anger upon discovering that some of his party members were allegedly placing bets on the dates of parliamentary elections. UK's Labour Party leader Keir Starmer called for the return of betting money for public benefit, as polls suggest Britain is likely to elect a centre-left Labour government, ending the rule of the Conservatives for the past 14 years. In May this year, British public debt reached its highest level as a share of the economy since 1961, increasing financial pressure on the incoming government following the July 4th elections. A hacker group has claimed responsibility for stealing 400 GB of data from the British healthcare system and reportedly published the information online. The Israeli army released footage showing ground troops in Gaza and several airstrikes on Hamas targets, stating that all measures were taken to minimize civilian casualties before the strikes on Thursday night. During a meeting on Thursday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged Israeli officials, including National Security Advisor Zaki Hanegbi and Ron Dermer, to prevent further escalation in Lebanon amidst the ongoing Gaza conflict. The White House has voiced strong disappointment over Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's criticism of the U.S. amid ongoing tensions between the two allies over the Gaza conflict. On Friday, Qatari Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman stressed that an immediate ceasefire in the Gaza Strip is the only viable solution to de-escalate the situation. The U.S. State Department expressed deep concern on Thursday over the possibility of Russia delivering weapons to North Korea. South Korean Vice Foreign Minister Kim Hong-kyun summoned Russian Ambassador Georgiy Zinoviev on Friday to convey Seoul's position on the agreement between Putin and Kim, as well as the alleged military cooperation between Russia and North Korea. Nationwide protests against the government's proposed finance bill in Kenya resulted in at least one death and over 200 injuries. The United States has stated that its support for direct discussions between India and Pakistan, and also emphasized that the pace, scope and nature of the talks should be determined by the two countries. China warned that the European Union risks triggering a trade war if it continues to escalate tensions following the European Commission's proposal to impose tariffs of up to 38.1% on electric vehicle imports from China. In response to Japan's recent trade restrictions on Chinese companies, China strongly opposed unilateral sanctions that lack international law backing. On Friday, Taiwan's government expressed deep regret over China's decision to impose the death penalty in extreme cases for individuals deemed die-hard Taiwan independent separatists. The Philippines has decided not to invoke a mutual defense treaty with the United States despite accusing China of interfering with a resupply mission in the disputed South China Sea, officials said on Friday. According to Russian authorities, over 100 drones were used in a large-scale attack on occupied Crimea in southern Russia, resulting in at least 1 death and 6 injuries. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov stated on Friday that Russian President Vladimir Putin is open to security talks with the U.S., provided that discussions are comprehensive and include the issue of Ukraine. Regional prosecutors reported that a Russian-guided bomb killed 2 people and injured 3 in a residential area of Saladov, a town in eastern Ukraine, on Friday. Azerbaijan's parliament will request President Ilham Aliyev to hold early parliamentary elections before the 29th UN climate talks, which are scheduled to take place in November this year in Baku. You're watching Express News. We're heading for a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Express News. Let's continue getting you more international updates. We'll get you weather updates now. As Italy grappled with the heat wave Minos, activists filmed Italy's iconic landmarks with infrared thermal cameras to document the alarming rise in temperatures, highlighting the urgent impact of climate crisis. Italians and tourists were also seen battling with high temperatures of up to 39 degrees Celsius as they took in the sights of Rome. U.S. cities are breaking decades-old temperature records this week as a heat wave stretches from central to eastern portions of the country. After several days of extreme heat, residents and visitors to U.S.'s Wisconsin found relief at Devil's Lake State Park as the heat wave had caused temperatures to spike into the mid-90s with high humidity. Rescue teams on both sides of the U.S. border were deployed along the desert area surrounding the wall to aid migrants attempting to cross under the line, in fact, under scorching temperatures. In Ciudad Juarez, on the Mexican side of the border, officials from prosecutor's office rescued the body of a migrant who was found dead in the desert, allegedly due to extremely hot temperatures. A wildfire broke out at the cultivated fields in Turkey, killing 5. In addition, 44 people were hospitalized and 10 of them were severely injured. A hot spell lasting several days has greatly impacted the daily lives of people in Vietnam's Hanoi, forcing locals to find ways to protect themselves from the harsh weather conditions. Surfside Beach residents in Brazoria County, Texas, are cleaning up after houses and streets were flooded by tropical storm Alberto. Storm Alberto caused the Santa Catarina River to burst its banks in Monterrey, the main city in northern Mexico, after leaving a trail of rainwater as it moved north. Seoul has opened urban water parks with hangang outdoor swimming pools and water playgrounds to offer refreshing escape for citizens as hot temperatures continue to grip South Korea. Days of torrential rains have triggered severe flooding across eastern China, submerging villages and houses and forcing thousands of residents to be evacuated. Parts of northeastern Bangladesh remained flooded on Friday following days of heavy rain. Parts of India's national capital, New Delhi, witnessed rainfall that brought relief from the intense heat wave in the city. The Indian Army in Jammu and Kashmir's Aknoor celebrated International Day of Yoga along with their trained dogs. As the world also celebrates International Day of Yoga, thousands gathered at the iconic Times Square in New York City to perform yoga. Dozens gathered in the capital of Democratic Republic of Congo to mark the International Day of Yoga. The High Commission of India in Suva, Fiji, organized a yoga event to mark the 10th International Day of Yoga. The fervor of the International Day of Yoga was also seen in Bangladesh's capital, Dhaka. The 10th edition of International Day of Yoga is celebrated across Nepal with practice of yoga sessions this morning. In Sri Lanka, the 10th International Day of Yoga was observed at Galle Fort. Embassy of India in Jakarta celebrated the 10th International Day of Yoga at the Ministry of Youth and Sports grounds. Hundreds of revelers gathered around sunrise at Stonehenge on Friday morning ahead of the celebrations marking the summer solstice. The Folger Shakespeare Library in Washington, D.C. will allow the public to view 82 copies of Folger's first folio editions of the collected works of William Shakespeare. The collected works of William Shakespeare were printed 400 years ago and was previously stored away in a refrigerated vault at the library. University of California opened first academic research facility dedicated to the study of the bean. Ski season in Chile officially opened with eager skiers tasting the fresh snow on the white slopes of Valle Nevado close to the capital of Santiago. Brazilian paleontologists announced that they discovered fossils of a reptile that roamed the earth in the late Triassic before the dinosaurs existed. A group of adorable giant pandas have been filmed moving their chubby bodies with joy, running energetically in China's research center. The UN Refugee Agency is holding a photo exhibition at a museum in Kyiv. The exhibition features works highlighting the support that the agency has been giving people displaced by Russia-Ukraine conflict. The Sea Festival entitled Hoi An, Summer Emotions 2024 is being held in Vietnam's Hoi An city. Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla attended the Day 3 of Royal Ascot. The horse racing event was founded in 1711 by Queen Anne and was beloved by Charles' late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Taylor Swift fans are turning up in droves at their idol's favorite London kebab shop ahead of the singer's 3-night stint at Wembley Arena for the Eras tour. The cast of Kinds of Kindness hit the red carpet in New York ahead of the film's June 21st release. Eddie Murphy brings the 80s to modern day with new Beverly Hills Cop movie titled Beverly Hills Cop XLF. Famous Canadian actor Donald Sutherland, known for his iconic roles in films like The Dirty Dozen and The Hunger Games, has died at the age of 88 in Miami following an extended illness. Tributes to the late Canadian actor Donald Sutherland from world leaders and members of the Hollywood elite poured into social media platform X after the announcement of his demise. The makers of the supernatural comedy Kakuda on Friday unveiled the first look poster of the star cast that includes Sonakshi Sinha, Ritesh Deshmukh and Saqib Salim. The movie will be released on July 12th. Indian independent music artist Ritwiz has joined hands with Pakistani pop R&B sensation Hassan Rahim for a new track titled Meherban. Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh started with 3 wickets each as India defeated Afghanistan by 47 runs in the Super 8 stage of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. England are all set to clash against South Africa in the Super 8 match of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in St. Lucia on Friday. David Warner smashed an unbeaten half-century after Pat Cummins took a hat-trick as Australia defeated Bangladesh by 28 runs in a T20 World Cup Super 8 match in Antigua. India won both the matches against England and took a 2-1 lead in the 7-match DEF T20 cricket series. Indian weightlifter Mirabai Chanu says that her success at Paris Olympics will depend on how well she manages to keep herself injury-free and improve technical nitty-gritties. Spain secured a place in the last 16 of Euro 2024 as a Riccardo Calafiori own goal in the second half gave them a 1-0 win over defending champions Italy. England came away with a 1-1 draw from their second match at Euro 2024 Group C encounter against Denmark. Defending champions Argentina beat Canada 2-0 in the opening match of the Copa America in Atlanta. Argentina captain Lionel Messi broke the record for the number of appearances at Copa America finals when he started his 35th game against Canada. World number 2 Carlos Alcaraz said that he would speak to the ATP about a new shot clock rule being trailed at Queen's Club Championships this week after feeling crushed during his defeat by Briton Jack Draper. That's it in this edition of Express News. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.